I pinned myself. Oh, how do I, hold on.
So far,
That was terrifying. Then for a second, I'd click my stream in the hope that I might be able to change my name to something punny. What I actually did was pin myself, which meant you'd gone on really small. So it was like
he was like looking at a big mirror.
on my.
Can someone check the streams live, please?
I'm just having a little look now on my phone so as not to upset the Wi-Fi even further than it is already upset.
That looks like we're live.
Yay!
I'm not sure how stable this is. This is certainly a lot more glitchy than Google Meet.
it's as stable as we are. Let's be honest.
Oh, that's not stable at
very.
all.
Let me share the link like a good little boy.
Share what link?
Of the smoke room
More-
to people who might
more
want to
like-
watch.
It's the Twitch link, isn't it?
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna.
Oh.
That's what I'm sharing.
Okay.
What did I say?
Wow, we're all very tired.
I wonder why. What I'm absolutely intrigued about is the fact that I cannot, for the life of me, get onto Discord.
Were you banned for sending illegal pictures of geese again?
It might need to do like 200 updates every time you click it. It's like has to update something.
It is a
Yeah.
petulant child. If you don't log on for like 2 days, it's like, oh, give me attention.
Because I've downloaded. It's because I've downloaded it onto my 2-bit sketch. It's gone. Nope,
Just kidding.
not having any more.
You have frozen this
If
end,
I
Mike.
can't use it, none of you can. Go to bed.
Yeah,
Go to bed.
your
well.
your camera's a bit ropey, Mike, but we can hear you. That's the important thing.
We can hear you.
If you just stay still anyway,
Well.
no one will know.
I mean, to be fair, I'm 90% eye bag anyway. You know me.
My name is Captain Eyebag.
Relatable content.
Oh my god,
Right, we're about to start. Are you ready for the animation?
the delay on that.
Ooh.
There's the animation. We're starting. We've started.
Right, it's not come up on the thing yet.
Oh, it
Wait.
definitely has.
I can only imagine what a
Definitely
thrill
has.
that would have been.
The lag is incredible.
Yes, it will be, won't it? You've got about 20 seconds before you get
There
to
it is.
I like that we're 11.
Yay.
I like the name of this week's streamage.
So the reason it's called 11:58 is I've got a friend who can never remember that 1448 is called 1448. So she often refers to it as just two completely random numbers.
Just
My
some
dad does that. He said, "Did you enjoy 14, 14, 14?" When I chatted to him yesterday, I was like, "Yes, I very much did enjoy 14, 14, 14. It was a
My
lot
dad
of fun."
said exactly the same.
Have we got the same dad?
You've all disappeared.
No, we are here, Mike. Don't worry. So long as you can hear us, we can hear you.
Oh, Jonty's in the chat.
No, I mean,
Jonty, you know what they
Hi,
say.
Jonty.
yay, John D.
Oh yeah. I thought someone else was chatting then, but it was Hannah.
I've got content about John T.
John
Jontent.
Well, it's
John
content
Tent.
about me and John T was there.
It's John Tent.
Oh my God, John!
John Tent.
In fairness, it is content about me, but John's there to witness it. So,
Okay, so really it's Mike Tent, but go on.
Oh, Mike Tent's
I
a
like to
different
think
thing.
it's count.
South tent.
Go on,
Yeah.
John. Go on, Mikey. Just ignore them. That's all. That's all. Just
Come
ignore
on
us
then,
all.
Mikey. Give us your prime John Tent.
Well, so basically, Saturday at lunchtime, we were. So I was obviously having lunch.
An excellent thing to do at
What do you
lunchtime.
want? I thought, you know what? Saturday 1440. Yeah. Saturday 1448. You gotta push the boat out. I'm not. I'm.
Oh, you're breaking
I
up,
look at
Mike.
your beige bread and your weird
Beige.
wallpaper paste.
You're breaking up, Mike.
Look
Don't
at your
break up now.
beige
You're giving us a
wallpaper
story. Mike, you're breaking up.
and your-
Mike, you're breaking up. Mike, you're breaking up.
Dave, he can't do anything about it. Stop yelling.
But we need him to repeat what he said because we can't
You're
hear.
the kind of person that would be like, "There's a fire," and then wouldn't actually do anything. They just shout around,
How
going,
far?
"Fire!"
That would absolutely be me. Just yelling, fire!
And you
And
forget to.
How far did we get?
Oh, barely.
yeah.
It was lunchtime, and you didn't want to have the usual, like, boring beige wallpaper paste sandwich.
Yeah.
That's what he said.
Did he do it in that
So
voice?
Molly, what do you want? I thought. Molly was like, "What do you want?" Or I'll have a chicken bake from Greg's.
Yeah, the good old chicken bake. We
Oh,
can
That's
go with
the
that.
sort of life I lead now. She's constantly on the edge. Yeah, nice. Go. What I should have envisaged but didn't was that it would be the hottest thing man has ever created.
Yes.
I tried to bite into it, and it probably took about 2 layers of lips. And then after a while, sort of realised that it's just going to turn into mush if I carry on just eating it out of the packet. So what I had to do was take it out, put it on a plate, and then I was like, "Oh, gotta have a fork." No forks, so I had to eat it with a spoon. Paul Johnson.
Hang on. Wait there, Mike. Mike.
I could trip to the kitchen, get me a spoon.
Hold on, Mike. Hold on. You've first thing you've done here is you've removed a Greg's chicken bake from its paper housing. And I mean, let's be honest, Mike. That's crime number 1. You've put that on a plate. Crime number 2.
It was
And then Mike. Hello, Doug
just bringing
Deans.
out the seat.
Doug Deans is in the chat, everyone.
Palsy down.
Hey, Doug Deans is in the chat. Whoop, whoop.
Your cerebral,
Deans.
your cerebral palsy, Mike,
Yeah.
is the thing that's stopping you from being arrested for crimes against Greg's. And then, so you've got a Greg's chicken bake on a plate. I mean, this is anarchy. You may as well have dismantled the entire social fabric that we know and love.
Dave, Jonty's yelling at you in the chat that
No.
Jonty's yelling, Dave, it was disintegrating in his hands. You had no choice.
But and then you start using a spoon.
So, Paul Johnson was like trying to get me a fork. Shall I
What a
get you
nice man.
fork?
Lovely man.
There was no forks. The best thing you could get was a spoon. And it wasn't even it was a
Oh, we broke up just as you were saying the noun.
48.
Also, you didn't.
Yeah.
You could have had. You didn't specify how hot your pasty was going to be. A plastic spoon can become all saggy.
Oh, it was a plastic. Mike, you broke up just as you said the noun. So it was a plastic spoon. Mike, are you there?
Yeah, it's a plastic spoon.
Okay.
I
And,
also had to eat my dinner on Friday
I'll
with
probably-
a teaspoon. It was tough times all round. that's all they had in the Premier Inn.
Yeah. I probably lasted about 2.5 mouthfuls before I went, now I'll just have me quavers.
Oh, so you abandoned the best part of a Greg's pasty?
Well, also, it was like Phil wanted us back by 2, so
Yes, fair.
Oh,
You're
you
on-
don't.
you
You,
are on a
do I
time frame.
arrive late but nourished? Or Jardines. Now, it was, so because I'm a humanist, I chose to forgo my lunch for fear of upset deans. I say humanist. What I actually mean is riddled with anxiety.
They are the
Johnsy's
same.
adding some colour to the situation in the chat by telling us that Paul Johnson was using 2 knives to eat a pasta salad, bringing
That's-
new meaning to the phrase chopsticks.
It
Living in
was.
the future there.
so, in case anyone doesn't know, we should explain. We did.
No.
We did 1448 over the weekend, where we were part of about 50, 60 people who created 14 plays in 48 hours. It's as bonkers as it sounds.
It's a 60 person.
Mikey was acting. Yes, Mikey. Hannah Platts was writing for the first time ever.
And maybe the last.
Adam was directing,
So proud of
and I was in
proud of you.
I was in the band for the first time ever.
Wow, so we covered nearly all the disciplines, didn't we?
Yeah. So I'm incredibly tired, cranky, frustrated. I just want my bed. How are you three feeling?
Did you work today, Dave?
Yes.
Oh, good. So, did you kill anyone with the wire going to a keyboard?
There was very, very close today. Yeah,
Garroted with a USB
yes.
cable.
It was. There was very, very close to
Did
being.
you whip someone with an old-fashioned PS2 lead?
Oh
Ones used
no,
for
I've got
printers back in the
yeah,
day.
yeah. I've got some of the old D printer cables. They come
Ooh,
sharp.
chunky.
They come sharp, or a good old VGA. So yeah, I'm in a fell mood. I'm so tired. But how do you, I mean? The weekend was great. The aftermath is just dear me.
Yeah, it's very tiring. Yeah, I knew that it was gonna be because like obviously just from the format is like, okay, I'm gonna be awake for 2 days solidly, great. And I thought that would be all right because generally I'm usually okay because I don't sleep massively anyway. But this was like a whole extra level of no sleep. I was not prepared for.
So how long did your writing take?
Ha!
So the first night, I think I was a little bit smug because we got the theme and I was waiting for us to all leave and go round to the Premier Inn, and I was like, oh, I've got a couple of ideas, jotted a couple of things down in the notes on my phone, okay, it could be this, cool. Got back, I just leisurely sat, ate a pot noodle, had a little sit and a sip of a drink, and we all went, the four of us writers were all staying in the hotel, so we went into Hannah and Steph's room to have a little writer room. And I had 2 pages out before midnight, and I was like, "This is piss easy."
Do with the other
People
two.
well, they weren't staying there. I was like, "Oh, this is great! I'm gonna be done by 1:30, and I'll get
Out in
a
the
proper
street.
night's sleep."
No.
No, you're not. You don't sit with us. So I ended up, and then I slowed down.
You can't even
because I'd
go
written
here.
the little things in my head, and then it was like, right, how do I make this 10 minutes long now? So I think I submitted at 3:00. So
Not
I
bad,
went
not
down,
bad.
yeah.
Pretty
fine,
decent.
Fine, went down to our room, had a little sleepy, got up, went to the meeting, was like, yeah, I'm quite tired, but I'll have some coffee and everything. But the second night was ridiculous because I had no ideas at all. And then I was like, well, I guess I could maybe do this idea. And it got to midnight and I'd written nothing. And I was like, okay, that's fine. It got to 1 a.m. and I'd written nothing except the title, which was just the theme. The Waiting Game by Hannah Platts, age play 4. And then I bolded it and underlined it. And
That's always a bad sign when you start doing
I got
your
my
page numbers.
number footer, yeah. And I was like, maybe I should put a header with like my name in it. I did one stage direction that was like
lights up.
Yeah, music plays. And I was just staring at my computer, and it was like it had gone past 1 a.m. And then I just like I turned to Matt Beams and went, "What would happen if I just didn't write a play?" And he was like, "You're going to write a play. It's going to be fine." And I kept being like, I just need to just be on the ground for a bit." And I just like lay on the floor. And it was like every cell in my body was being like, "Go to sleep, Hannah. Go to sleep." And I was like, "No, I can't. I must stand up."
Can I be the cell? All your cells. Hannah.
Oh no.
You should take a little nap.
And it was like, I'll take another Pro Plus. It'll be fine. So I'd had like 4 Pro Plus, and it was like
You basically did all of the cells in focus.
a what?
Bloody
You're breaking up terribly, Mike. Your computer cannot handle this new format.
You're breaking up
Yeah,
like
shall
two
I just not
15-year-olds
bother? Shall I
ending a
just-
relationship on top of a Ferris wheel.
Why didn't I have that idea at fucking 11
It's not
o'clock
supposed-
Saturday night?
So Doug
Right,
Deans
no.
has said, is this where the total mania of Play 2 came from, Hannah?
just supposed to
Yeah.
download an app or something.
No, this is the right one. It is web-based.
Yeah, my second play was mad because like I lost my I was just sitting there, like I put the hood up on my hoodie and I was like had my glasses on and I was just like tip tap tippy tap, and Hannah went, "How are you doing, Platts?" And I was like, "I'm going to be crying while I talk to you, but I don't want you to worry about me. It's simply that I'm so tired I can't stop the water coming out of my face." I was like, so you can track that.
I
through the
can't
play.
stop the water coming out of my face.
I was just like, I'm not crying because I'm sad. I'm crying because I'm tired. Anyway, I just need to fill a few gaps in this play. And poor Hannah had like finished her play, which is just like beautiful, like heart-rending. Like I cried both times I watched it, like ugly cried. Like it was so good. She'd finished it, was lying in bed, but she stayed awake an extra hour so she could read mine and tell me it was going to be okay. And she read it. And while she was reading it, we both fell asleep. Like, I was just resting my head on her knee. And she was like holding my laptop. And because I'd fallen asleep at the same time as her, I didn't know this had happened until she told me the next day. And then, because she just went, "Right, yeah, I'm at the end now." And I was like, "Oh, yeah, good, thanks. Yeah, that's how long it takes to read 5 pages. Yeah. And she was like, "I can't," this was 5 a.m. And she was like, "I'm really sorry to do this to you, but there's a beat missing. You've only got 2. It needs to be rule of 3, otherwise we don't get the payoff." And I was like, "No, that's fine. That's exactly what I wanted you to tell me." And I had to like wrench my head off her bed, like pulling everything. Like it was like strings attached to me. Like, I can sit upright and I can type more things. I'm fine, by the way. And
It was a good sign when you're telling everyone and pleading, saying, "I am okay."
Stop looking at me. I'm fine.
If you don't perceive me, I can't be tired.
So, if you notice, the last like chunk of my play is someone just going, "I'm so tired. I'm so tired of. I'm tired."
It's the fact that there's also characters in your play eating pom bears, which you
That's what I
were
was
doing.
I was sitting there crunching on it, and then I was like,
Oh, That's a very good point. Doug's just mentioned. Did anyone mention no one is paying us for this? No, we do it for the love.
We were saying that like when we
Yeah,
were walking
like-
over for the meeting on Saturday morning. I sort of looked at Steph and I was like, "We do this for fun."
But I'm not having fun.
It was mad because I was so
I'll
convinced.
say-
Like Adam will tell. Like I don't think
I'll
Adam
say
should tell you the
again,
full extent,
I
but
could
like
have done
I was.
anything.
Oh, sorry,
you
Mike,
say,
I didn't
Mikey?
hear. you.
I,
Come back to
I
us.
could have been anything. Could have done anyone.
Yeah, that was last 48 where he was like, I could have been a lawyer. And I just went on stage. Yeah, I was fully convinced that I had written the worst play in 1448 history and that I would get kicked out and never asked back because it was so bad. I was like, I have just ruined the day for whoever gets this play. And the whole way there, I was saying to Adam, I was like having a little cry all morning. Like, well, I say all morning, I was only awake for about 10 minutes before we had to leave. And then I was like, I was like, I've written the worst play and I'm terrible and it's awful. And we got there and Adam drew my play and the director's drew. And I was like, I'm so
You
sorry.
spent like maybe 2 hours at that point telling me how the play you'd written was
I
trash.
cried myself to sleep because I was so convinced that they would never ask me back.
At one point during the night, because we stayed in a hotel room, you went, "I'm sorry," then went back to sleep.
Because I was so convinced it was the shittest thing that had ever happened. And then they did the read through and I was like, oh, I think it's all right.
You can't judge it. You can't judge it on
Yeah.
your 5 a.m.
Yeah. I've had
exhausted
like 1
brain.
hour of
Nah,
sleep
no.
and the rest of the time was just crying. And then
I've had those dates.
Yes,
Yeah.
No, it took me 2 full festivals to write something that I was happy with.
Oh,
yeah,
Yeah.
well, yeah. I actually was happy with it in the end, which I'm surprised
my-
at.
God, this delay's hilarious.
Oh no.
You're breaking up so badly, Mike. I would recommend as an IT professional that you try turning your computer off and turning it back on again.
Or just
I've
refresh
still
the
got
browser.
a phone. You try that.
Whatever.
Yeah, could try that.
Doug says, is that where the
Yeah.
bees came from, Hannah?
Hilariously, the bees came first. I I was like, oh, they'll just like release some bees at the end, and I did that first, and then worked back through the play. I wrote it backwards, pretty much.
Oh, that
Apart from
works.
little bits that I like put in.
The bees!
Because I find it hard to plan like on a screen, so I had a pad of paper and a pen to like do my little like kind of mind map thing at first, and like I drew sort of a picture of some bees in the corner to remind me like it's gonna end with some bees. Where does it begin?
Why
It
have,
ends with bees.
why have I drawn little grains of rice? What's going on?
There's so much weird shit on that pad of paper for the second night. Yeah.
You showed it to me, and you managed to perfectly replicate the font from Pink Floyd's The Wall.
Somehow, yeah.
Like, it's perfect.
Because for a long
replication.
time, the only thing on this pad of paper was just the waiting game in capital letters, which was the theme, and a picture of a clock. Yeah.
What
So-
was remarkable about play, Hannah, was that it was like you'd sat on, like it was like you got on stage and started, like it was so you. It was like it was like all this pent up anger chatting about for the last 2 years.
But of course, the first night was your play where Bob
it
was
was
going
1
shooby-doo-doo, which
Yeah,
is so you
all-
as well.
All of that stuff that Bob said was exactly to the word what I'd written in the script. I'd made him say like splickety blickety woo wah and stuff. And he absolutely nailed it exactly. I was like, how? How did you do that? I gave you such a difficult challenge. But like as soon as I saw that I'd got Bob to direct that play, I was like, okay, that it's gonna be fine because I need someone who understands weird. And he
On
was
day
like,
two, she saw me and went,
No,
fuck.
no, I saw you, and I was like, I was honestly like the most relieved that anyone could ever be because I knew that like you wouldn't be mean to me about it. I was like, okay, at least they're not going to tell me it's a shit play. Okay, fine, good.
I will be very frank and honest. And when the cast asked me questions about the play, I went, I don't know. Neither does Hannah.
Which is accurate.
One of the questions was, but why is this happening? And I went, I don't know.
To win money. Why
but
else?
I think they were like, but why? Why would they do this? But surely there's a chance this could last forever. And what if everyone just left in a day? I was like, I don't know.
Then whoever left last would win.
But did you hear about that Japanese show where it was a guy who wanted to be a comedian? It's absolutely true. And he signed up to go on this game show, and they essentially locked him in an apartment, which was all live streamed, and said, you can only eat or dress yourself with things that you win.
Right.
And they gave him loads of magazines and stuff, and he had to try and win prizes.
Oh my god.
And he could only eat something if he won it in a prize.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
And he ended up going completely fucking mad because you're going
It's a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
And then
It's a lot of faff.
they started like proper torturing him as well. So like they released him and then kidnapped him back again.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like the
For a
prisoner.
second, Fringe, I thought you were going to say they made him clothes out of the magazine page.
It actually turned out that he was he ended up being naked throughout the whole of it. So they got the eggplant emoji, stuck it on the screen. Yeah, and they had an operator following his genitals around with the eggplant emoji.
Oh,
What? How's your careers day going? Oh, great! I think I'm going to
God.
become an engineer. What about you?
Like yeah, I'm a follow spot operator actually. Yeah.
Sounds proper illegal. Yeah, but I think.
Imagine that. Imagine him now. He's gonna be called Mr. Eggplant for the rest of his life.
Actually,
There's absolutely nothing about it.
there's a few YouTube videos and stuff about him.
But like, yeah, because they started off. Wasn't it that he was abandoned and the flat was completely empty and he had to win anything he wanted?
Like furniture and
Yeah,
stuff.
everything he had to win through these magazines. And like,
Yeah, and
they would pay for all the entrance fees and whatnot, but he had to enter all of them. And then by the end, like he was getting, I think he had some clothes, but it was like a t-shirt.
Oh no.
Yeah, and then I'm not sure because I know that they released him once, but by releasing him, they put a bag over his head and then made him start again.
Oh, it sounds awful.
I'm just gonna quickly do this because I've got to go do something. Can you
Again?
Can you read that? Can you see?
Yeah,
We can
yeah,
read
we can
that,
do
yeah.
that. Thanks.
Cool,
Yeah.
cool. Because I need
He's
a
having a
shit.
poo.
Mute the microphone.
No,
Adam.
I'm taking it with me. My favorite moment, quickly. My favorite moment of the whole 1448 was Dave Pitt. I think it was Dave Pitt. Was like, "Yo, look, we're going inside, mate. You need to hurry up." I turned to you and went, "I'm shitting," and left. And you went, okay, fine, whatever.
Yeah, fair enough. He's not a shy pooper, is he?
No.
Oh yeah, Doug Deans has just put he won a bag of rice, then realised he had nothing to cook it in or eat it out of.
Crunchy.
Oh god, yeah, of course. You got to win saucepans and a hob. Oh my god.
TikTok pooper clock. Hannah, can you have a word with him, please? I mean,
Oh,
not
David,
at the moment.
if I could have done anything about it by now, I think it would have happened.
I'm kind of glad Doug Deans is in the chat, actually. Because I want to say, publicly, thank you, Doug Deans, for the second night. for
Oh yeah, that was so
just,
cool.
just coming over and going, we got a poet in the band. Dave, have you got a poem? And ended up doing some beat poetry. It was
It
like
sounded so
fucking
cool as
great.
well. It was like really cool, and like Rich did that like
Yeah, it
wow
was
wow
good.
sound
Yeah.
under it, and it was like, oh, this is great. And I was like, and then I was thinking like, oh, I want an album of like just Dave saying stuff over like cool like prog rock music.
just not stuff that just doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, it's just words, but I would listen to the shit out of it. Yeah.
And it was
Yeah.
great because it was kind of originally the poem was about a poem.
Yeah.
But I just kind of took the noun out, so it became a lot more ambiguous, and it
Yeah,
really fit in with
was
the play.
great. Yeah, and but it also fit with the whole weekend because it was like a thing that didn't need to exist. And I looked at Hannah like, oh my god, none of this needed to
We're not even getting paid.
we created all of these things and they didn't need to exist.
Now they do.
I forced a young child to eat 3 bags of Pom Bears today. Didn't need to do that.
I mean, still so much pain.
Well,
Yeah.
I am in absolute fucking agony. It's broken me this weekend, has.
Yeah. What, your voice or your body?
My both. I mean,
Yeah.
you could probably hear that I'm a little bit.
You
crook.
you really went for it in like I went into that tech rehearsal on Friday and I was like, oh, what's it going to look like? Because I hadn't been there. I hadn't
Yes, this was
seen-
your play with Bob
Yeah.
doing Scoobly Doobly Dooby while
Being
dressed up as
playing
a
cards.
playing card.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like I hadn't seen anything of it all day, so I was like, oh, this is exciting. I'm gonna watch a play I've written. Like, oh, nice. And I sat at the back and they did it, and I was like, great. And then fucking Dave Pitt starts screaming the Ace of Spades, but it was the Ace of Diamonds, and it was. I was honestly so happy that my soul left my body and just floated into the top of the ceiling in the arena somewhere. I was screaming and like throwing my arms around like this is the best thing that's ever happened. I was so happy. I was like, I don't care what the play turns out like now. I did care and it was good. But like as long as we got that moment of Dave doing the Ace of Diamonds and then going, it doesn't scan. I was like,
It's too many syllables.
so many syllables.
It was a lot of fun.
Incredible.
Completely blew my voice out. So I was reciting that poem on the Saturday, going.
No, it sounded great. It sounded so good, and all the accompaniment was so good.
Yeah.
The band were just like really strong the whole weekend, like really strong band.
Some of them were. There was one person in particular who was very much being carried on the shoulder of giants. I was seriously. I cannot thank that band enough.
Dave.
It was probably. I was trying to work this out. It was probably work out why. I always enjoy 1448, but this was probably my favourite experience. But I think what happens is with the 1448 festival, you work with a small group on the Friday, and then you might get the same person for one of them, but you tend to have a different group that you're working with on the Saturday. And then there tends to be different people that you'll like eat with or whatever.
Yeah.
So you kind of spread out a bit, but being in the band, and I never thought of this, you're working together as one team all weekend.
Yeah. There's something
and-
really nice
yeah.
about it, isn't there? Yeah.
And I just remember, like, the Saturday morning, for about 2 hours, we were doing nothing but laughing. And laughing, like, not a giggle, like a proper belly laugh. Yeah, design team's the same, yeah.
I think as well you get like, and I guess it's the same with design, is that you get a sense of all of the plays, so you feel like you've got more of, you feel like you're involved in all of it, whereas like I think often when you're just working on one play,
Yeah.
you get very
No,
focused.
unique.
You might not even see anyone else from the other groups all day because you're just in the room, you're learning your lines, or you're like directing or like whatever. And the writers obviously are it's all quite separate. Whereas with the band, it's like you get a little bit of all the plays and you get to watch all the texts. And then it's like, so I think you get a nicer spread of the whole show. That's what I liked about it when I did Band was there. I was like, oh, this is so nice. I know what all the plays are.
Adam's back.
He's just busy drawing a cock and balls, I think. If I'm very much mistaken. That face.
I was making the bee look like a tiny penis.
Well done, Adam. We're all very, very proud of you. So as John says, come on, Unwin, tell us about your weekend.
It's alright, yeah.
You had that lovely play on the first day.
Yes, that was. I really enjoyed day one.
Amy Craig's face gives me so much joy.
I watched it back today through the record, and I had forgotten in that brief space of time since quite how much she was clearly having fun.
Which was yours the first night?
For Choo Choo Train.
The train
Choo Choo
one
Train.
with
Oh yes.
Amy and Kerry.
Yes.
Yeah.
They were both superb, by the way.
They were perfect for that.
That was
We did it once a way round, and Carrie was equally funny.
Of course, Amy Christ is going to be a magician.
Yep. Like I did it the other way. I went, this is fun, but that way's more fun. It's redonkulous. She played the madcap energy of someone who teaches magic perfectly, although it felt a little bit primary school teacher, which I loved as well.
There's something really nice about the way she uses the physicality of it, like when she was like drumming her fingers.
I was about to say that. That
and,
was
like, her feet
beautiful.
Moving. Like it was really cute.
The pair of them, the timing of it all was great. I mean, I'm sure the director had a little bit of input on that, but it felt to me like, that was something that they brought into it.
Yeah, pretty much. I just went milk it. Here are the bits where you're going to really slow down.
Also, like
Mikey.
The word for you, that's like a good 60% of your job done.
Mm-hmm. I think directing's a bit of an odd discipline because I remember, I think I've said this before, the first time I directed, we went into the play for the 8 o'clock and I didn't know what the play was going to look like because so many things had gone wrong. Not with like actors playing up or anything. It had gone well, but there was so much going on. There was so many props. There was so much movement. I wanted to project some stuff and I couldn't project anything, so I had to change things at the last minute. So it got into the 8 o'clock and I'm like, I've got no idea what this is going to look like, whether it's going to work. And they just nailed it, which of course they did. I mean, it was always going to happen. But I remember thinking, I must be doing something wrong because Neil Redding does not work this hard. I've said this to him. I've said, there's no way. Oh, crikey, that was a leap of faith. That was, wasn't it? I was like, I must be doing something wrong here. And then the second day, I had a 2-hander. It was dead easy to do. Walked in, had like 2 run-throughs and was like, done.
Yeah, my first day was blocked by 11:30. And I went, cool, what do I do now? Because I'm done.
Yeah.
Like, we ran through it and did like little tweaks in here and there and stuff, but it was 2 people sat down in the train. I just, yeah. I did the stereotypical director thing of louder, quieter, slower, faster. All I had to say, and then at one point I went, can you be like just
better?
Do really big arms there? Or can you present a rabbit? If I find you a rabbit, can you pull a rabbit out?
I mean, there was that one of the amazing directorial decisions of the weekend was the letters for Hannah Torrance's play.
Oh, that was
second day. So
Yeah,
the idea,
I started crying at the
Oh
letters.
my
Kept crying
life.
the whole
So
way through.
if anyone's watching who wasn't there, the character was suffering from chronic fatigue syndrome, was trying to get all these diagnoses off doctors, so obviously he had lots of letters and was running around the stage, and just the stage hands were just throwing letters on the stage, and then they just fell from the top of the theatre, and just hundreds of letters just fell, and it was beautiful.
Dave, did you see what was on the letters in real life?
No.
Because that was done by our good friend John T. And I've got one here somewhere. The letters were dated like the 15th of March, and they
1872.
Yeah, and then they were signed "Yours deliciously, Dr. Jonty Jontyman." And I loved it so much that I got Jonty to save me one. I've got one somewhere.
Jontyman.
Dr. Jonty Jontyman.
Doug's asked, dare I ask you guys, how do you jump in on the call?
Jontyman.
I'm not sure what you mean by that, Doug. Do you mean how we got involved, or? So yeah, just clarification, Doug. Clarification. But yeah, so Adam, was you? Okay, I want to ask you about your tweets, Adam.
Jonty. Oh,
I haven't been on the old Twitter.
So I had a 1448 that felt like I was not like out of the loop on a joke. It was that sort of feeling. Just I didn't find the joy in the weekend. I'm really proud of what we did both days. Made some cool shit. But yeah, just it wasn't the bringer of joy.
We appear to have two mics.
Don't know what.
Well, that's made my weekend infinitely better.
I don't know what happened there. It said there'd been an error, and it said there'd been an error, and that jigsaw puzzle came up. Then I realised I'd still got that Discord window open.
Oh, yeah, that might be why
So,
your computer's
maybe.
running a bit slow.
Maybe it was that.
Might have been.
So
Might have been.
I'm
We'll
now-
see how it goes. So, Adam, do you
Can't promise anything.
think it was
Fingers
your,
crossed.
do you think it was your last one?
Probably not. I thought it was. On Sunday, I was like, I didn't enjoy that particularly that very much.
I will say as well, like, you just got over COVID,
Yeah, I think that was a lot
like
of it.
the
'cause
day
the
of it, and the fatigue is unreal with it.
There is
Yeah,
that.
So that could be like one of the combination of things could be.
but it was a lot of. It was just a slightly. At least it felt relatively joyous for us. Nice to see everyone. Good chat occurred. I saw people being great. I saw people being stressed, and I was.
I
less
got
stressed
to
than them,
wear
which
a
is great.
poncho.
You did, and you wore it well.
Oh, so good.
You wore it well.
And a
you
hat.
got to-
Thanks.
and-
I meant to
Nice.
ask for one of those hats for the Saturday show, and I forgot. He's still there, Mike.
That photo that Steph took,
Yes.
I think I fancied myself a bit.
Steph took some awesome pictures.
Dave, can I make a request?
Yeah.
Can I hear you scream all aboard, please?
No, because I've got neighbours, so I'm not going to do
Yeah,
that.
but it's 8:10. It's fine. It's legal.
No. I'm not one of those people. That was really funny on the 10 o'clock show. So Adam, bastard, came to the band on Friday morning and went, "Can you play Crazy Train?" Yeah, Adam, no problem. It was just a song that was written by possibly one of the greatest living guitar players ever known on the planet.
Rich Leverton didn't
and-
write it.
Who pulled it off though? Oh, hi, Ripley.
Rich Leverton pulled off the main riff. And I spent most of the day stressing about what was essentially 4 chords. And I got through it. But I got through it with a couple of bum notes, but I got through it. it was decided that I would shout "all aboard" and laugh to start the song, and that went great in the 8 o'clock, and then on the 10 o'clock we finished our intro song, which was "It's Kind of Magic," and Rich plays the riff to Crazy Train. So I look at Rich, and Rich looks at me, and I very smugly think, "You're supposed to start this, mate. Not me. I'm waiting for you." And he nods at me, and I'm thinking, "I don't know what you're nodding at me for, Rich. You start this one." And then he goes, "All aboard." And I went, "I fucked up."
Best time to get your fuck up is straight out of the way, like in the beginning.
Yeah, get it in early. Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
second night we were doing "Waiting in Vain," the Bob Marley tune, which of course involves skanking. And I don't know if you know this, but skanking, it's dead easy once you're in,
Yeah.
but it's getting in.
Mm.
And
It's
like Derek,
syncopated, isn't it? Yeah.
Derek is a great drummer, right? So, I mean, reggae for Derek, he's just second nature. He's awesome at it. So he does that kind of boom, and then you have to go boom, boom, boom. And I was stressing over that. I was like, everyone just watch me, because if I miss that, someone's got to come in with it. And the intense concentration on my face going. And then once I'm in, I'm like, yeah, got this. Do this all night now.
Do you think that you would do band again, Dave?
Do you think you could band again, Dave?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, okay. I've been having some thoughts about this because I spoke to Pam on Saturday night.
Oh, nice Pam.
Nice Pam.
And Pam, of course, did Friday night, but not Saturday.
Yeah.
And she said, I can't do this anymore. I'm too old. And she went, I just haven't got the energy anymore. I said, but then I realised you're older than I am. So it's like, where have you got the energy from? I said, I haven't.
Cocaine!
I haven't. I'm absolutely fucking exhausted.
Yeah.
And yesterday was hell. It was absolute hell. And today has just been... And I know, like, the 2 weeks I've got coming up, and I'm just like, I need so much rest to get over it. And I haven't. I've got no respite now until at least the middle of October.
Yeah.
No rest but the wicked. Man, don't go on me.
And there are genuine thoughts in my head of, look, I might just be too old to do this anymore.
No. Because you
I
can
don't
direct,
know.
you can write, you can...
Yeah, you could
they're,
do
they're,
that.
they're the lazy ones.
Yeah. Yeah.
Band's relatively chill.
I found band the most exhausting apart from writing now, but like until that, like I
Although-
found band really tiring because you're on the go all day.
I think
Like you
band's
don't
a
really
doddle
get
for the
time to
drummer.
stop. Oh, maybe. Yeah.
No,
We've sat down.
Yeah, being sat down is good.
if you notice, we were mostly stood up in the band on Friday, and we were all sat down
You're
on
all
Saturday.
sat down. Yeah, the drummer is sat down.
Rach is in the house. Hi, Rach.
Hello, Ray.
You say being sat down is good. Have you ever tried to be sat down and not tried to run over a punch out? Let me tell you, friend.
Let me tell you, Fred.
Let me tell you, friend. That is skill.
That does sound like a skill.
So yeah, genuinely, I think I'm too old. Johnsy's put about doing artist liaison.
The first time I saw you do 1448, you were the poet of the day. You were the blogger.
Oh shit, yeah. And
That's cool.
I did that poem at the end, didn't I?
Yeah, which made yourself cry.
Aww.
That was the weekend where everyone was like, if your play's not made Dave cry, make it sadder. Or because you cried, I think about of the 14 plays, I think you cried at 6 of them.
That's probably about right. Hannah Torrance still goes on about the fact that he got very close to the end of one of her plays and she didn't quite see the end because I was hugging her so hard. Just weeping. Yeah, I mean,
You wear your heart on your sleeve.
I wear my heart on my sleeve.
You're not afraid of taking off
That's
your
a good
shirt. It's
thing.
been 1 week since I talked to you.
That's a good thing.
Rach also did 40. I think everyone who's watching has done 1448 this weekend. And that's great. That's cool.
Yeah.
So yes, 1448. We'll have to see. I might pop up and do artist liaison.
You can direct. You get to sit down.
Yeah, you do get to sit down.
I was
And you get to like have as much sleep as you want that night.
I had lots. I actually the first night, the Friday into Saturday, I went to sleep about midnight, and I was like, I'm cutting this fine. I'm only going to get 7 hours. This is ridiculous.
So much. It's just
The second night,
you know when
Second.
like you're so tired that you can't sleep and you're looking at someone who's so asleep. And it's like, I hate you.
and then he got that look on his face.
Yeah, just so cozy, like a little caterpillar, all curled up
Yeah,
in the big bed.
it
just
was
like
I was,
oh,
I
look
was,
at
I
me.
was the
the
little
quilts
bit.
like this. The quilts like this, and all you can see is
Yeah, just a happy little face, so happy.
like a squirrel in hibernation. Just like
And I was trying to cry really quietly so I didn't wake you up. Like,
both nights you came in and you were clearly trying to be quiet. The first night you woke me up because you just flopped onto the bed. The second night you woke me up because you were sobbing.
and that was my weekend.
It was impressive to say the nuns. The nuns.
so. I mean, I haven't cried this weekend either through emotion or stress.
Really?
Oh, fucking hell. I absolutely bawled through Torrance's play twice.
You lost 4 kilograms of water. It was
I was dehydrated at the end. We had to then it was Steph's play and I was still thinking about it and I was like, this is funny, but I can't make myself laugh as much because I'm still thinking about how sad I am. And we had to go on for the bows like, yeah, I'm just gonna dance to a fun song. I'm so tired.
Doug Deans has said, "Can we get some love for Matt Gabrielli's second play?"
yeah.
those
Starring
plays
Stuart
were
Reid, yeah.
stunning.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he
Um,
was so lovely as well. We had brunch on the
Yeah.
first day. The writers went for brunch.
I thought that was a great cast on the second day as well with Stuart
solid,
Reid and Vinny.
really solid.
And I'd only met
Stuart
Vinny.
Reid's a
What a name that man has.
Is that his name? I didn't know what his name was.
Vincent Fox.
Is that his Vincent Fox?
That's the name of a detective.
Oh, so bit of intern here.
Yeah.
Vince isn't actually his real name. Fox is from his mother's side.
Who
So,
would dare
well done,
get on stage with a fake
well done.
name?
Yeah,
Vincent's
who on
mum.
earth would just
Well,
make
I
up
know.
their name
The
and tell everyone it was your name and
Bastards.
then it's not actually your name?
Bastards, that's
yeah,
who do that.
Fellow chitster.
Bastards.
I don't know, actors.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's...
Elton John, that's who. David Bowie,
Close.
that's who.
Jonty says that they nearly slipped on a letter whilst carrying a very heavy bus stop sign because they were still so teary-eyed from Hannah's second play.
Is
And
that
then Rachel's-
is that the what? Okay, did that happen when I was doing the poem?
Yes.
Yes, because I just heard loads of laughter during the poem.
No. The laughter for the poem was because your poem was funny.
No, this was a bit of the poem that
Oh,
wasn't funny.
no, I know what happened. No, I know what happened.
What happened?
So it was because Allsop's play had just been on.
Yes.
The water.
That was it. And Steph, he was sat behind me and Steph and Hannah, and Steph went, where do you get off writing such a good play, balancing humour and sadness? How dare you be so talented? And he went, if it's any consolation, I'm not as tall as I could be. And, and we all went, and then I suddenly realised that we laughed really loudly during the lovely poem. And I was like, no, calm down.
I mean, there was that bit during the actors' draw on the first morning where Adam. So the actors were being drawn from the noddy holder. Adam made it uncomfortable
I
immediately.
immediately made it uncomfortable because I had to put my whole hand inside Noddy holder.
And I tried really hard to make Noddy release your bounty a thing, and no one would join in. But I said it every time.
To be fair, there was a lot of laughter when you said it. Noddy, release your bounty.
We tried to make it a whole thing.
I could fit my whole hand and some more inside the Noddy holder.
Yeah, but it was the face you made while you did it. It was like,
So yeah, I was even considering, like, is it worth talking to 1448 and saying, you know what you need? You need a new discipline here. You need a poet in residence.
Yeah. I think you should do it. That would be so cool. And then you write a poem that's like inspired by all the plays.
A
and
poem
stuff.
about each play.
Yeah.
Not a poem about the theme, but a poem about each play.
Yeah, about the stuff that's happened in the room. Yeah.
But that might be quite interesting. Poet in residence.
Good idea.
I think that's a great idea.
There's also
Highlight of my weekend was the highlight of my weekend was managing not to laugh on stage every time Jonathan said anything.
That was such a good
Don't know
bit.
what it is about that man, but his ability to just time everything perfectly is just unrivaled.
It was an exceptional cast. Well, I mean, to be fair, there wasn't a bad performance all weekend. That was an exceptional cast, though, Mike. That was an exceptional cast.
That was great.
But yeah, there wasn't a bad performance all weekend.
We had such a good day. No.
I, as a writer, I always think, do you go serious or do you go funny? But there's just something about you spend the whole day having a laugh.
I had that same debate with myself, and I went to the
sometimes-
toilet like about 3 a.m.
Go on, Mike.
Sorry, Mike, I didn't hear you.
Sometimes, some writer can hit a bit and be all about it, but actually, when you're on the other side, all you want is a good character you can hang out on for the day,
Yeah.
and that's fine.
When I did the first 1448, I had the 5-hander for my second night.
Yeah.
And I always warn people about that. It's like,
Nice.
that's the hardest one.
Yeah.
It's for an actor.
It's 2 minutes an actor. And
I had the 5. Yeah, I had for the first time I ever wrote, and making sure that everyone.
get something to do. It's so difficult.
So like, there's more arcs. There's more arcs. That's arcs, not anything else. In case
There's more ass.
Because what I ended up
I
doing.
found 4
because
hard
it's
enough.
like-
Yeah, 5 would be.
there's more arcs.
So that was the night, Hannah, that I was telling you about over this weekend. That I wrote the play, and at 1 o'clock in the morning, I'm like, I've just got to give this one last read through. I think I'm done.
And then you were
And,
like,
and
oh,
someone
shit.
texted me and went, "How are you getting on?" And I'm like, "Fine. I'm almost done." Read through it and was like, 2 of these characters are completely pointless. You just don't need them. You can take them out and it still all works. Kind of that. And I couldn't fix it.
Yeah.
So I wrote another play.
Honestly, it nearly killed me.
That I got about halfway through,
Mad.
and then I got stuck on that one. Then I wrote another play that I got 8 pages in, and was like, I can't finish this in 6 minutes. In 10 minutes, I can't get a 10-minute play out of this. There's too much going on. And I ended up having to go back to my first idea, and the only reason I carried on with it was, and I said to the actors the next day, I'm really sorry. You two are not needed. You literally, like, you could take you out the script and it wouldn't make no difference. But Benicio del Toro it up.
Yeah.
Have a fucking ball with it.
Yeah.
Because I'm sorry, and it turned out they really enjoyed it. They had a great day, and you know, it went down well on stage. But
I think what I've learned is that it's really easy to worry too much about what you've written. Like, because when you actually hand it over, it's like, oh,
Yeah.
this is doable. Like, yeah.
ultimately, there's a lot of talent in the room, and although as a writer, you're kind of giving them their base.
Yeah.
They'll make it better.
They'll do something. Yeah.
Always will lift it.
Yeah.
I mean, my second night at Seattle, I produced a script I was absolutely over the moon with. Went in the next day and the director just took it up another 5 notches. And then as the performance went on in the day, you know, it's great. It's great, but I might be too old.
Nah, you're not too old.
Nah.
You say that.
Yep,
you haven't been around me today. And then I've got to be up dead early tomorrow morning, and then I'm doing a gig tomorrow night, and then I've got a rehearsal all day Wednesday, and it's like, oh God, I'm never gonna sleep again.
Never gonna sleep again.
Anyway, moving on from things where we have to do stupid things under pressure. Let's move on to the fact that 3 of us were in a room together at the same time a couple of weeks back when I came over to Birmingham of an evening, which is something I don't normally do, as a surprise, to see you, Hannah Platts, and you, Adam Unwin, doing date night improv. And I have to say, I know you are my friends. I don't know if that feeling is reciprocal, but that's first from this end.
Who is this man?
But it was a thoroughly wonderful evening of improvisational silliness.
Yay. It was so nice that you came. Like, Dave literally sent us a message that morning, like, so sorry I can't make it. Like, have a great show. And we were like, thanks, Dave. We'll let you know how it goes. Yeah. And then, like, I hadn't even seen the message. I think, did you show it to me? I can't remember now, Adam. Like,
I think I showed it to you, yeah.
Yeah, we were like backstage and he was like, David sent us a video like, oh, just saying have a great show. And then the camera panned round to the old joint stock where it was happening.
It was, I even managed to get free parking. So,
oh, what? Where was that, you prick?
Gay Village.
Ah, yeah, I haven't got cars over there.
Hurst Street, of all places. It was quite funny because I just pulled into a parking space on the road while people were faffing in the car park for change
Apparently,
for the machine.
Dead.
Damn.
You are? Say that again. Who's dead?
I said apparently that's a bit dead.
Well,
Hurst Street.
Okay.
Hurst. Yes, so yes, I got free parking. It was a wonderful night.
I'm so sad.
Yeah, it was great. It was the first time that we've
Just go to
done it
bed.
properly. Oh my! No.
I was trying to work out if it was a Jeff Hurst joke.
No.
Anyway, moving on, Mike.
I'm
Mike,
hiding
no one
from my
I'm
noticed.
a bit rock bottom.
No one noticed, Mike.
Not even.
Mike, no one would have noticed if you hadn't
Not
mentioned
even
it.
stories. Not even stories. Oh.
Mikey, if this is rock bottom, then that's a lie.
Yeah, that is definitely a lie. you can get far lower than this. We can all get far lower than this. Right, date night improv. It was brilliant.
Yeah.
You did what was essentially a 40-minute improvisation on what exactly?
On the 12th of April, 1954,
Yeah.
by the audience, which, as you probably know, is the day that Bill Haley and the Comets recorded "Rock Around the Clock."
Yeah.
To be more precise, Bill Haley, Haley,
Yeah,
Susan,
and fucking Brian,
Susan, the backup prancer.
the backup prancer, and fucking Brian came up with the song.
Yes, it was lovely that I was sitting in the old joint stock drinking what was essentially an incredibly expensive pint of
It's
Guinness.
quite
You
pricey,
didn't know-
Guinness.
You didn't know whether to drink it or
£6.5?
invest it.
£6.5? Do I get a pair of jeans with that? Yeah, I was sitting there, and who should walk in but Jonty?
Yeah.
And he was like, wow! And it was like, it was literally 6 or 7 seconds before double entendre started coming out. It was disgusting. It was utter filth.
Beautiful. That's what we like.
And then Alex Lacey turned up.
Yeah.
And he was, this is brilliant. I'm seeing people
So
I haven't seen for
nice.
ages.
Alex has been like so nice because obviously when I was in Edinburgh and I got COVID, it was like the day that I was supposed to be going to see her play with her and Rob. And so I messaged her like, oh, I'm so sorry, I was going to come see your play, but I've got COVID. And she was like, oh no. And she checked in with me a few times during the week to make sure I was all right. And she was like, do you want me to bring you something? I could drop you some stuff off at the door. And I was like, no, I'm okay, thank you. But she's like the loveliest person that's ever been. I just like, just want to hold her in my arms. Like,
So, date night improv.
yeah.
For those that weren't there, Mike, because let's be honest, accessible in the old joint stock are not
Alright.
two words that go in the
Do you know
same
what?
sentence.
What a
lift.
lift, actually. Because I wanted to
Yeah.
go in it and I was too scared.
Yeah, but I was going to
Yeah.
say, hasn't it got a lift that's like microscopic?
Also,
Yeah,
there-
I don't
there are
know how
stairs
wide it
at the
is.
very front.
Well,
Oh, you got it. Yeah.
Yeah, and
It's
stairs
not-
at the
it's not
front.
great.
Yeah.
I can get in. It's just I couldn't get used that night.
Yeah.
So
But
I was indisposed.
what was lovely? There was a lovely bit where Susan the Prancer appeared,
Susan.
which involved Hannah Platts prancing quite
Yeah.
a bit.
Yeah.
Prancing, don't you know?
Prancing around, which meant just kind of spinning, really, because I'm not massively mobile, as we know.
But there were two things that went on there. Was that your cardiovascular system?
Yeah.
It couldn't quite keep up with it,
Wasn't ready for it.
and you were making yourself dizzy.
I will remind you that I have only just got over COVID. as
Yes, and you were making yourself very dizzy.
And I was so dizzy. I wasn't there was no acting involved in that. I was fully like could not stand up, dizzy, had to lean against the wall.
So there's a lovely bit, Mike, where when they've obviously got an idea for like a kind of
Kind of like a
branch,
cutaway
yeah.
scene. Yeah.
They go to the side of the stage, and that's the cue for the other one to go to the side of the stage, and it's lovely how they do it. And you said, well, we're not going to be seeing any more of
It's like
Susan.
Action Family Guy.
Yeah,
Yes.
we're not going to be seeing any more of Susan tonight. And Adam
Thank
just
God.
Adam just walked to the side of the stage.
I don't know if you could hear, but he went, "Fuck you, yes we are." To me, under his breath.
And then what did you do, Hannah? Which was fucking genius.
He came on, and I went, "Brr, brr. Hello, it's me, Susan. I can't come in today. I'm still prancing though."
It was wonderful. And then
It was like a competition in who could mess with the other one the most. Adam hanged himself, which was exciting to
Yep.
see in a comedy show. I kept being like, how do I stop? I guess I'll just let this happen.
I could help him dig his way out of this hole, but
feel
alternatively, I could just give him a shovel.
Yeah, sort of like, well, we're going down this path now, so I guess
In
Good luck.
improv, you go into their world.
that's it. I just was yes-anding the fact that Susan's father decided to hang himself.
For
And
which
I was
Susan
framed
got
for
the
his
blame.
murder.
So yes, it was wonderful, and I urge anyone who gets a chance to see Date Night Improv to go along and watch it.
Yeah,
Balls.
we're going to be doing it a few times. So
This feels chaotic.
it was very chaotic.
Chaotic.
Yeah.
There was one point where I was
My
Jesus
kitchen.
and I cut off Adam's hands. It was a whole thing.
For usury.
For usury. Stop usurying.
You're still usurying.
I was trying to sell Jesus my homemade jams.
I'm not 100% sure what usury is, but I've definitely seen it written down in relation
Is
to
that
the
your only
Bible.
criteria? It was written
Yeah,
down.
I've seen it written down.
It's
I'm like-
actually a really interesting way the words evolved,
Yeah.
because in kind of ancient times it did mean loaning money for interest.
Oh,
Like-
okay.
Any loaning of money for interest for financial gain was considered usury and considered a sin.
Right.
That's why, because of the anti-Semitism,
I was going to say, is that where the
Jewish
anti-Semitism came
people were allowed to be moneylenders.
Because they were like, well, you're fucked anyway.
Yeah.
So,
So it's like the only job you can have is the
Whoa.
one that we consider a sin.
yeah.
So it
That's
forced
crazy.
Jewish people to be moneylenders, but then those moneylenders made a load of money.
Going to say, then that's actually a way to make a lot of cash.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, look
So-
at those horrible rich
Yeah,
people.
yeah. So they then went,
Wow.
"Whoa, look, all the Jews got all the money." So anti-Semitism propagated. but then they
clip that
went,
one bit. Someone clip that one bit.
No!
No context. Just that one bit.
No!
don't. That's a very Al Jazeera thing to do.
Get taken off the...
And then, of course, they then changed the definition of the word usury to
Right.
be, oh no, it means when you charge exorbitant amounts of interest.
Right, yeah.
Not,
And that's what you do.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So yeah. So yeah, you can walk into your bank and just go usurer.
Yeah, and I will.
And cut off their hands.
And
might
cut
not do
off
that.
their hands and flip the table upside down.
Yeah.
I'm
Off
just
with
doing
your hands.
what Jesus did. You're all
Yeah.
sinners.
I cast him outside the temple gates. It was great. Yeah.
So yes, there you go.
So that's our new thing that we're doing, and we're going to be doing it in various towns around the Midlands.
Some.
Some of them.
Name a town. It might be there. Probably not. But it might
As
be.
if you name Leicester and Nottingham, then yeah.
Towns.
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 I always think
You
that not.
Toxitor.
Oh, what a good town name.
That's one of those places I've been through but never actually stopped in, and probably never will.
What's the weirdest town name that you've gigged in?
Oh.
I gigged in Wem.
I was just going to say Wem. Is it Wem?
Bit weird.
I've never.
South Luffinham.
South Luffenham's great. That's.
What was that place where we went to that weird building in the
Did you
middle of
do?
nowhere?
Did you pitch them
Oh.
against the North Luffenhams?
I couldn't even, genuinely, I couldn't.
North
I was like, is there a North Luff? And they're like, yeah. So, do you like them? Oh, they're fine. What?
That's not how we do rivalries.
We did a gig in not Lutterworth, Cotsbatch.
Oh, that's it. Yeah, Coates back.
You missed a trick there, because you should have said to the South Luffenhams, well, the North Luffenhams think you're a bunch of pricks.
Yeah, I asked them, and they think that you're all cunts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And now there's a war started by a small improv group.
Yeah.
And then at a future gig, you get given the date of the start of the war of between
the
North and
versus
South.
South Luffenham. Yeah.
Luffinham.
We did a gig at Market Harbour Rugby Club before. That was riotous.
Rugby clubs, yeah, you,
There was
you
a
just
lot
kind
of drunk people.
yeah, you see that, didn't you? You
Yeah.
just see
Yeah.
it's a gig at such and such rugby club, and you think,
And
you know
it was
what?
like,
I don't need to eat this week.
yeah. It was.
I can get
It was
around it.
excessive. I had to be quite forceful. Like I do sometimes have to get a bit forceful because when it's improv and it's like you open up a sort of dialogue with the audience because you're asking them for stuff, and if they're a certain kind of person, they like take like sometimes they get a bit like, oh, I'm the funny one here. I'm gonna be funny, and they say stuff that they think is gonna like put you off, and it's like, do you think you're clever? So
Because I said to Sean, you must have something prepared for this as well. You must be expecting that you're going to do Shrewsbury Rugby Club and you're going to go 9/11.
yeah, you're gonna get someone shouting dildo at you constantly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Every time you ask for a suggestion, it's like prostitute or dildo, and I like to look them in the eye and be like, how many times do you think someone's yelled dildo at me this week? Do you think you're clever? But yeah, so like when we did the rugby club gig, it was the first time where I've gone like, can anyone, not you, give me a suggestion for, and I had to literally block this man out because he wouldn't stop shouting dildo. It's incredible. Yeah.
Dildo, a gynecologist.
Gynecologist. Yeah.
Every
Time, and it's like, oh wow, that's really original.
As a heterosexual cis white male, can I just say heterosexual cis white males are fucking horrible.
It's like it's a weird vibe. It's lazy. It's not funny, and it's almost like it's not about the humor. It's about trying to like make you uncomfortable by giving you a suggestion that's like, oh, can we have a suggestion for a job? Strippers. And it's like, right, so you want me to feel uncomfortable in having to do what you've just told me to do? So we always try and find a way to get around it. So if they shout porn, we start doing a chess scene. Or like when someone said strippers, me and Jen looked at each other and at the same time started like wallpaper stripping and stuff like that. But I used to try and find a way to do that, but nowadays I'm just like, I'm not gonna take that dildo, thanks. And then I just ask for something else. I'm like not afraid to just be like, no, sorry. I don't think that they deserve that much energy.
But this has reminded me of something.
Mm.
So when I was like 17,
Can I just say, every time I look up at my window, I'm freezing. Is complete like demonicism, and I apologise to everyone on the internet.
I don't think you look like a demon at all, man.
you look like someone whose desktop is struggling with the system we literally had to implement 5 minutes before coming on air.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to. I'm gonna have to find some time this week to work with some of you to work out what we're doing next Monday. Because we're certainly not paying $7.99 a month for Google.
Remember on Saturday when you went for a show on, and I went, yeah, all right then.
Whose idea was that? Oh, it was mine, wasn't it? Fucking terrible.
I'm so tired. I'm so tired.
10 more minutes. Right. This reminded me of something. So, I was about 17. I was working on Warsaw Market, and the guy I replaced had gone to work in London in a sex shop.
You drank some very good beer.
Yep, that's what I was thinking. Mikey. That's what I was thinking.
He went to work in London in a sex shop in Soho. And at the time, he used to come back up to Wolverhampton to Warsaw because his family lived up there. And he would come to see the guy who worked on the stall with me, and we'd all be chatting. And he was the one who enlightened me to the fact that at that moment in history, the big thing that was selling in sex shops was blow up sheep.
Right.
And he's like,
stag parties.
yeah, no. He was like, we're just getting like businessmen. He says they're walking in like £400 Armani suits, buying a blow up sheep because they're just getting lonely on the A5 or whatever. You know what I mean? Great. I don't want to yuck anyone's yums. But he said one of his first days on the job, 3 old women walked in. And it was obvious all they were trying to do was make him feel uncomfortable.
And it's like, I work in a sex shop. What do you think you can say to me?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. It's like, I'm a like female presenting person in comedy. Do you think no one's ever shouted gynecologist at me before? Oh. Sometimes I do that to them as well when they do that. I'm like, oh, little baby learned a new word. Oh, well done. Anyone else?
So many pricks. Doug Deans has said there's been an improv group going around the country recently where purposefully every scene is set in a dildo shop.
Can't beat him, join him.
I mean, sex shop is something else. I'd quite like to own a dildo shop. Just Dave's
Some really like artisan one.
Dave's Dildo Emporium.
Dave's discount dildos.
I thought you were going to say disco.
Disco
Disco
dildos.
dildo emporium.
Disco dildo emporium.
Just like a disco ball in the middle, and it like glitters on all. Like that would be great.
I'd go for that.
I was seeing
Have
it
all
more as like an
different things.
antiques roadshow sort of. Well, this dildo is actually made in the early 21st century. It's coming all the way from China. It has 3 previous owners.
It's made from a polymer plastic, and
and smells of a rich, warm mahogany.
John says discount implies previously used.
Yeah.
yeah, bargain bin.
Look, it's 20. We were all on tight budgets.
There's a cost of living crisis. Yeah.
Cost of
I
living crisis.
I organised a night out for everyone at work, and we all went to the dogs. Monmouth Green dogs, not literally to the dogs.
Everything
And-
was went
You went to the dogs.
So I paid for everything, and then everyone paid me back. And I said there will be a prize for the funniest comment on the batch
Oh, the
transfer.
reference thing, yeah.
And my mate Chris won it with 13 quid for sex doll rental.
Oh,
And it was
Ooh, the
the
rental.
rental that just made me go, that's genius, mate. That's genius that someone at Barclays Bank now thinks about me. But that's fine. I'm not going to yuck anyone's yums.
I do know someone who got like called by the bank for doing one of those references dodgy. Do you remember that, Adam, when
Yes.
you used to pay for improv through PayPal and somebody had put the references like, I don't even know if I can say it on Twitch.
Yeah, you can.
They put ISIS membership fee.
You say,
And they got called up like, rah, 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 rah. Like, oh, I'm sorry, it was my
my
mate
God.
playing a joke. They're like, don't do it again.
look, because ISIS would do that, wouldn't they? They would charge you a membership fee from ISIS,
They
wouldn't
are
they?
quite slapdash. Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't understand where the authorities come from sometimes.
But they just have to have like their watchwords.
Idiots.
There was a website where you could press a button and it used to Google in one big search for you all the terms that were tracked and monitored.
Oh God. But it's stuff like rice cooker and things, isn't it? Because of
Yeah.
like, there's like all
Well, there was
kinds of
that.
weird.
There was that one, wasn't there, where there was an AOL hack, and it was anonymized in that you didn't know who it was, but each person who had done searches and was in these URLs had got a unique number.
Right.
And of course, the kind of, Tumblr, 4chan community was searching it. And they were like, right, we need to check whoever this is, we need to check this person out. Because they had been searching for like things about disposing of dead bodies and, all this sort of stuff. And the person who did it,
But
the person,
How many of those? How many of those are just writers?
Well, that was the thing, because the person who did it came forward, and he was one of the writers for one of the Saw sequels,
Oh shit!
and he was like, "It was me,"
yeah.
because how many writers are you gonna get?
Because like I've been googling stuff before, like because I had this idea for a book ages ago, and I obviously haven't done anything with it. But it was about like undertakers, and so I was googling stuff like how to prepare a body. NSA, please don't find me. It's for a book.
I mean, I always thought it was utter bullshit until all the Snowden stuff came out, and then, of course, it turned out yes, they were looking at us all the time.
Not me though, because I put one of those things on Facebook saying that just copied it in, saying people they haven't got the rights to use my photos and data. So I was safe.
Yeah, that works.
Me and every drunk aunt in the country were fine.
Mentally, I'm standing.
Catchphrase.
So to finish off,
Oh,
Adam-
delayed laughter is
Adam
the best
Unwin.
laughter.
Mikey.
Adam Unwin. Mormons on the buzz.
Oh yeah. Go round and round.
I did that earlier, didn't I, Dave? And you were like, no, stop it, content.
Yeah, I did, yeah.
Great minds.
Mine's
And mine.
mine.
So I get the bus into work on a Monday because I'm a cool cat who likes to live down with the kids. So and like it pulled up at a stop and like loads of people got on and there was 2 women on the bus who were nattering away like anything, like old women, and it was beautiful because I've not heard that level of inane chatter since my grandma died. It was that sort of oh, she's ill. She's not too ill, but she's too poorly to go to bingo. It was like that level of natter. And then, like, loads of people got on, followed by the foremost American people in the world.
Sounds like every one of my plays.
Like, yeah, you do like a good play about domesticity. It was like 4, not like gun-toting Americans, but they were just really American.
Yeah.
Really loud. And one of them said the most weird thing I've ever heard, which was, oh, he's so Ohio. And I don't know what that means.
An American might be able to enlighten us, but we haven't got any here.
So Ohio. And it was very obvious that these were missionaries from the
He's
Mormon
made of
faith.
potato.
Yes. These were missionaries from the Mormon faith because they were wearing little badges. And they were all dressed identically and all had perfect haircuts. I still have no idea where they send the missionaries.
And
Yeah.
they wear
He resisted the urge to sing the song.
they wear magic pants.
How magic?
I challenge you now, Hannah Platts.
Yeah,
Get your phone out, go on Google,
I've got it here.
and Google Mormon magic pants.
I'll do that while Adam talks.
Right. Okay. So it was bizarre. Oh my god. And they started.
It's the first thing that comes up when I say
Their conversation went from normal, loud Americans talking about sport and whatnot to one of them clearly realizing, hey, this is a bus full of trap people. We should talk to them about Jesus.
And pants.
And they loudly just started talking about.
Oh, sorry, I've just seen Hannah Platts' face.
shit.
Mormon magic pants?
Apparently, the Mormons themselves find the term magic pants quite offensive. They're known as temple garments. Wow.
What are they? What? Why is it? Okay.
They're very, very long, but the male ones have got a hefty pouch on them. Look.
They're pretty.
A hefty pouch.
Yeah.
That's
They're supposed to protect you from the evils of the world.
Mikey's found his
gone.
porn name. It is me, Hefty Pouch.
There are It says on Wikipedia, it says temple garments are sometimes derided as magic underwear by non-Mormons, but Mormons view this terminology to be both misleading and offensive. And then there are 5 sources for that. Oh, you can't see, but there.
Rachel's just put in the chat. You know the saying: the heftier the pouch, the closer to God.
I've heard that also. It's what he would have wanted.
That's what she,
So,
that's what she would have wanted.
The big
Would
JC.
it have changed
Steve
your
Pouch is up there with clagging gussets.
Hefty hand.
a hefty claggy gusset?
Wow.
So, Adam, would this morning's shenanigans have been slightly changed in your mind if you'd have known they were wearing temple garments?
No, purely because they were already laughable.
So, did they try and convert you?
They tried to. I don't know me because I was aggressively looking at a phone and dressed in.
Could you give us a demonstration of you aggressively looking at a phone? That's aggressive.
That was big dad energy.
But then they started loudly talking about how Jesus and God is great to each other, but also doing a sort of like side eye looking around. And then the 2 women who were nattering, they made the mistake of making eye contact with the women, and the women went, "We've got this. Everyone on the bus, we got this." And they just talked at length, loudly, about, "Oh, they met someone who was in a church once. Which church was it? I'm not quite sure. You've got lovely shirts on. Are they pressed yourselves, or did you get that done by somebody else?" For about 15 minutes, these 4 members bombarded by a name natter.
They did not realise that they'd met their match.
They were like, "We're great at talking to people. Oh my God, we're amazing.
We've been trained for this moment.
Inanity!
Provincial grandmas, no!
It was beautiful.
Is
And
this the way of dealing with religious fundamentalists? When the Jehovah's Witness comes round, have we got to start talking about the damp coursing at the
Honestly,
temple?
that is a way to get rid of them.
Unless
Like-
you got someone who's really into damp coursing and God.
Yeah, that's true. But there's that Darren Brown thing about like if somebody wants to start a fight with you, you just start giving them weird facts, like and it shocks their brain.
Yeah.
Like he said that someone tried to fight him once, and he went, "The wall outside my house is 2 feet high," and the guy was like, all right, bye."
So yes, sorry, Adam. Go on, carry on.
they were just brown. They all but fled.
I wonder if that's in like the handbook, because I have also seen a Mormon on a bus try and start conversations with people like that. This was years ago when I lived down south. So I wonder whether there's something in their thing about, "Oh, you're in a confined
Do you reckon
space."
the equivalent of this?
Equivalent to what,
Wait,
Mikey?
what?
You broke up.
Secret shoppers?
Secret shoppers, yeah.
They're like,
It could be.
I'm gonna go on the. Yeah.
But the secret is
In
God.
the-
Undercover Mormons.
Total power.
Undercover Mormons.
Yeah.
Undercover Mormons. They just have to wear a suit.
Yeah.
That's what they were anyway.
We
Undercover Mormons.
work
Mormons
work in a very conservative bank.
Yeah. And then they start talking to you about how, like, I can't remember what the Mormon thing is. Something to do with lizards, isn't it?
No, they have their own planet.
Oh, it's a different planet. That's it. Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
I thought because
They don't hit you with that straight away, though. They hit you with like, "Hey, wouldn't it be nice to have somewhere to sit and have a cup of tea? Oh, I know. What about the Mormon meeting place?" And you're like, "Oh, this is nice." And then once you're in and you've been brainwashed, then they bring out that, "Oh, by the way, we're from a different planet and we're all going to get raptured and everyone here is going to die."
They're not from a different planet. They get their own planet once they die.
Oh shit! Yeah, sorry.
Oh right, okay. Because isn't there a thing where they carve everyone's name into a building?
I don't know. I know they have their own third testament that was written on gold plates that have never been seen by anybody ever.
Yeah, the guy Joseph
Joseph
what's
Smith.
it? Yeah, like showed up like, "Hey, I've got some extra Ten Commandment things here. There's more than 10 now. One of them is everyone has to be really nice to me all the time.
And I get
One
to
of
have
them
sex
is
with all
I
your
get to
wives.
have as many wives as possible, including all of your wives. Also, give me all your money, and we're all gonna go to a different planet, and everyone else here will get raptured. Okay, bye.
There is an excellent 6-part podcast series by Last Podcast on the Left about the beginning of the Church of Latter-day Saints, and it's terrifying.
I find it fascinating. I find cults fascinating and stuff like that, because they've all got the same basic principles of how they're successful.
Yeah.
It's what got me when I went to Edinburgh, and you go on, I think it's North Bridge, and you see the
The
sign.
Scientologists are there.
Yeah, you see the sign on the door that says free personality test.
Yeah. I've been in the one in Birmingham. I must have told that story on here before.
I didn't know there was one in Birmingham.
I don't think
Well,
you've done it
this
before.
was a long time ago, so it probably isn't there anymore. This was when I was about
Was that when
18, 19.
Was that when you lined up to be a spy?
No, it was I was in town with my brother and his friend, and I can't even really remember how they got us to go in there, but they were like, "Oh, just come in here," and we were killing time because we were going to a show in the evening, and we were like, "Yeah, cool," and then we got into this gold elevator. I'm sure I've told this story on here before. The whole place was
think you
made
have,
out of
actually.
marble. And the elevator was gold,
No.
and we went in, and they split us up into different rooms so that we couldn't get. And I was like, this isn't good. There was a whole wall that was just a bookshelf covered in L. Ron Hubbard books, and
They're
I was
great.
like, can you tell me where my brother is now? Because I'm going to go and find him. And they were like, no, answer our questions. You seem stressed. And I was like, yes, I am stressed because you brought me into this place and you're not telling me where my brother is. And they had my brother, and I wandered off, and I went to find him, and they'd told my brother that they could cure his dyslexia if he just bought this book on Dianetics or whatever it's called.
Yeah,
And I
it is
was like,
Dianetics. It is. Round one of Dianetics is £800.
yeah. And I was like, no, I think that's quite enough now. I'll be getting back into your gold elevator, and
And
just
taking a snap for the gram.
But the more important question now,
this was before the gram. I was
the
only about 18.
more important question.
Yeah.
What were the mints like?
Top tier?
Place those have the free
I did not eat a
was
fucking
the
thing
free-
that came out of there. I
No,
would
well,
not
wait,
have.
wait.
I have watched too much
Right.
crime drama to be eating suspicious fucking sweets.
It's like-
at a Scientology.
It's like if you're BA in the A team, there's a point where you've got to stop drinking the milk, and you know what I mean?
Because they're gonna put you on a plane.
They're gonna do it, BA. Come on.
I would not even have a sip of water in that Scientology building. No fucking way.
I'm definitely once these 2 insane weeks are finishing, I'm definitely going to go to the Scientology building in Birmingham. I've just googled where it is.
It was just off New
Yeah.
Street somewhere.
Oh,
They'd definitely pick me up, wouldn't they?
it says it's
Oh
on
God,
more.
they'd say they could cure you.
It says it's on Moor Green Lane now.
I don't know.
So
Yeah,
by-
this was a long time ago.
By Cannon Hill Park. By Moseley, actually. So
Oh, nice. You can write
I'll
a
go and
poem
ask them
about
if they
it.
want a poem
Oh.
doing.
Yeah.
Maybe if while they try to
You might
griff
give
me,
you your own plaque.
they might. While they try to griff me to buy books on Dianetics, could I griff them to employ me as their poet in
Yeah.
residence?
Oh, I thought you were going to grift them by taking all the copper out the walls.
I thought you were going to try and sell him Mikey's book. Do you want some poetry?
It's been known. I have been called the poet laureate of Moseley.
Do you want?
Don't live anywhere near
want this-
fucking here.
Do you want this
but-
play about raucous disabled? Do you want this play about raucous disabled sex?
I think it's right up your street.
Yeah, definitely. I'd buy that. I'll tell you that much. Elron Hubbard had missed a trick.
Yeah.
All he needed was some raucous disabled sex in it.
Not a single hoist in any of those shit books.
No, there's not. There's not.
Ableist.
On that,
potentially
Doesn't
dodgy
like
note.
up either.
we're definitely going to get hunted down and killed now. It's
Yeah.
strange that we didn't do a show for the last 2 weeks because of, her marriage. And what we do is we come straight back and upset the Scientologists and the Mormons.
Because we were so scared that we would do some light treason. And instead we've just bothered one of the big powerful rich organisations. I'm sure
Yeah, we'll be fine. We're lucky that nobody watches us but people we know.
Don't tell the Church of Scientology, everybody.
Yeah, Doug. Doug, don't do it. Don't do it, Doug.
Not
Don't
even
do
for the lols.
Yeah, not even for the lulls. Right, Rachel, stop Googling them. Stop it. John T.
That's undone action.
If I get loads of leaflets tomorrow, I'm going to know where it's come from.
I had a Jehovah's Witness come round today, so they're already watching.
Jehovah's Witnesses and Mormons in the same
Yeah,
day.
in the same day. I opened the door and the man started laughing. And I was like, hello? And he went, oh, it's just that I was looking for someone who could speak Punjabi. And I was like, sorry, who are you? And he was like, oh, no, I've been trying to learn and it's so hard, And then he palmed me one of his leaflets. And I was like, oh, I see what you're doing. No, it's not really for me. Sorry. But it's annoying. It's weird. I think because that's his in with people is that trying to start a conversation about something else. And then, oh, by the way, God.
Because I
was really weird.
I went into Wolverhampton, I think it was last Wednesday, and there appeared to be a bit of a religious war starting between the preachers on Dudley Street.
Oh,
Right.
on those ones on the corner by the fountain.
Yeah, that was it, you see. There were quite a few of them, but they weren't all
right.
from the same place.
Oh, yeah, because I did get told I was going to hell.
Yeah, well, I think that
And
was
then me and Steph started singing Highway to Hell. It was incredible. Yeah.
Was this Steph Urquhart?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's,
Absolute solid gold legend.
Can I just say she was doing some great swearing on Saturday night.
Yeah.
She's a great swearer.
We were having a competition for how many swears we could have in our play, and then I had to cut all mine out. Foiled.
But yeah, they were kind of preaching at each other. It became a bit of a preach-off.
A preach off.
Yeah. Or maybe it was just a ruse because I was paying attention to them.
Yeah, maybe they were trying to just create some drama.
Anyway, right.
Yeah.
Drama.
Shall we go? Because we're all really, really tired.
Yeah, we are fucking knackered, aren't we?
So
Were
we'll go.
they arguing over this? Hey, were they arguing over the son of a preacher gang?
Hey!
Oh!
On that note,
Yeah.
mentally standing.
The only one.
Mentally.
You second delay then.
Let's clear off. We'll try and sort out these tech problems for next week.
Yeah.
And
We'll
we'll see you all then. Say bye, everyone.